Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sapan team, for providing me this opportunity. Today, my presentation will focus on the overview of Nepal's human rights situation, youth activism, and especially the role of social media, with a particular focus on Nepal. So, talking about Nepal, we have to say the situation of the aftermath of the long civil war. Though there has been a peace treaty and it's already 2 decades, there is still the cases of disappearance, and still the more than 6,300 victims are waiting for justice for the crime committed by the state and armed opposition. Also, there are over 800 cases of disappearance that has yet to be addressed. And other prominent issues of human rights are caste-based discrimination, gender-based discrimination due to the patriarchal culture and norms, values that is well reflected in our practice and legislation, freedom of speech, privacy, citizenship, education, health, and security. So, in today's scenario, like cases of discrimination such as caste-based discrimination and gender-based discrimination is rising, or I would like to put like it's coming forward than before, and one of the reason being being it's been highlighted in the social media. So in today's scenario, like if you talk about the activism scenario in Nepal, so the approach of activism and advocacy is shifting from street to social media, especially with the youth activists. As you all have noticed in recent years, like digital activism has grown its popularity, and Nepal is also catching the flame. So its influence has been unparalleled, more so than ever, given the situation created by COVID-19, where the world has moved to the remote setting. So the virtual approach to anything has been the way to go, and Nepal's youth activist society is also in that path. So in this context, like talking about the youth in Nepal, so youth population accounts for the large chunk of population, where over 28% of youth are youth, and number is expecting to rise. And also the report shows that almost 90% of the people in Nepal have access to internet somewhere or other, and nearly half of the population are we can find in the social media. So it is evident that social media has evolved like from mere entertainment to a massive source of news and information. Especially youths in Nepal are majorly consuming and taking it as a prime source of information. So there are some of the positive sides of social media activism that I would like to highlight, and those are especially networking, highlighting the current issues and documentation. So the magnitude of social media is incomparable in terms of reach to coordinate with people for any cause. A surge of hashtag, information shared through stories and posts, and the ability to hear a diverse range of voices and opinions now underpin and mobilize every demonstration out here. So also, this has also helped in minimizing the hierarchical placement and dissemination of information, uh, where social media has helped in amplifying the voices of those who usually like they weren't given the airtime in mainstream media before, but now social media has played a key role in stimulating all these processes. I would like to share some of the recent campaigns where social media played an integral part in the activism, which was especially led by the youth. So the campaign, so there was a campaign with a hashtag "Enough is Enough." So it was protesting against government incompetency during the initial COVID phase, where government was nearly had failed to manage the whole COVID situation. So it was just a
Minute left.
yes, okay. So it was just a loose network where which came through the social media, and this campaign was very successful in making the PCR test mandatory for to determine the COVID-19 situation. So there are other similar examples that now we can see in the youth activist movement. So having said that, so in SARC region, like we all know, like youth accounts for nearly 29% of the total population, and internet use has doubled since 2014. So I think the discussion on the social media and youth activism becomes very crucial in this point. However, I would like to wrap my sharing with a statement by David Cave, UN Special Rapporteur and Clinical Professor for Law at the University of California. Human rights, quote unquote, human rights, its vocabulary, its framework, its vision provides a basis for restraining the worst intrusive and violation of digital world and promoting its best. Social media has also been used to misinform, incite violence, and interfere social political movement. Therefore, especially in our region, responsible use of social media should be prioritized and promoted for the protection of human rights. Thank you for listening.